Good morning, everybody. This is a review of day 8 and get it out there. This is a review of day 8 Auckland. Today we arrived in Auckland, and what can I say? It's amazing. It's a beautiful harbour. I got up about 5:30, had a shower and everything, got ready, and I headed up to watch the ship come into the dock. So I went up to the bow and watched the ship come in, and it was an absolutely beautiful sight. Stunning morning, nice and sunny, and it was warm. It was like, wow, awesome. We get a day that it's nice and sunny. I was like, yay! So I watched it come right up to the dock, right up to Queen's Wharf dock, which pretty much dropped into the back of Auckland downtown city, which was absolutely fantastic. What a view! What a way to come into a city! Unbelievable! And it was really good. So I went back and I grabbed a little brookie, and me and her went up and did our traditional Mr. Bow Wow Cow Wow, or Cow Wow Mr. Bow Wow little thing. And it's awesome that I get to take her up to the bow where it's in the city, and you know, she just gets to experience. She's on a cruise ship that's docked in the back end of a city, you know, and there's all high rises in the background and everything else. What a view! What a picturesque view! It was really nice. Auckland looks really pretty from that point of view. And I'll explain everything a little bit later. So we all went back. We got dressed and went and had some breakfast, and then we went to Aurora Theatre to meet other people in our group for doing the we did the Kelly Tartan Aquarium and the Sky Tower, Auckland Sky Tower, Sky City Sky Tower. That's how it goes. So we went and did that. Went for about 4 hours. You know, it was scheduled for 4 hours, so it was pretty prompt on time. Everything, we got there 9:40 in the morning, and we only had to wait around for about another 10 minutes or so, and then we were ushered through security. And once we're out of security, we went outside the wharf, Queen's Wharf, the big shed in there, and went to our bus, which was waiting for us right there, which was really good. So we just all hopped on board, waited for final checks, and then we went to, first stop was this monument, and it was a lookout around the bay. And it was a monument dedicated to the first Labour Prime Minister of New Zealand, and that was pretty good. Me being that way, it was nice to see something like that, a country that does that for itself. Really good. So did that, stopped there, took a few photos and everything, and then hopped back on board and went to the aquarium. The bus driver, who was really good, he gave us a bit of information about Auckland Harbour and all of that type of stuff, like, you know, how it was formed, what was that used for, what was this used for. Really good, really informative commentary. So then we went into the aquarium, and I've got to say, it was really busy. There was a couple of school groups in there, and I don't know if that was a timing issue or whatever, but you know, they all just stood there at one point of the in the actual aquarium, and they stood to one side, which was good on them that they stopped to let us all through. So once we got past all of them, that was really good, and then we started exploring on our own, and we it was really good. There was so much to see. You know, the penguins were probably my favourite bit, and there was so much fish, there was so much shellfish, and it was more towards New Zealand and Antarctica. So It was really good to see that type of thing. It was more geared toward that rather than just, you know, oh look, here's these tropical fishes. Yes, they did have lots of Finding Nemo, and there was one tank in particular that had like 50 odd and a couple dories in there, and that was really, really, really good. So from there, because of the way the bus parked, which was kind of really good, because what he did, he dropped us at the entrance to the aquarium, and from there we went in, and the aquarium is fairly, you know, long to walk around. The shark tunnel was awesome to see, and it popped you out on the opposite side of the aquarium, so you had to walk through the car park. Now the car park itself was, don't get me wrong, it was not. It was a nice little walk from the car park to where the bus was, because we were able to get in contact with the people from home, and we were able to ring back, which was nice. Then, but you know, it gave us time to reflect on what we just saw. Sorry, which was awesome. That was a really good aquarium tour. And then from there, we made our way to Auckland, the Sky Tower in Auckland there, and it's part of the Sky City entertainment precinct there. So that was really nice. When we were making our way to there, we were cutting through a lot of different parts of Auckland, like the different streets, different architecture, different buildings. So that was quite nice to see all of that. Now once we arrived there, he asked us if we wanted to stay on board or stay behind and make our own way back to the ship. So and we asked the person, we were greeted with a host. He was actually really good, and he took us on board, took us up there, showed us around, and told us, you know, this is how you go, and this is that. And I asked him when we're up there, I'll tell you all about it in a second, but when we're up there, I said, oh, you know, how far away is it, and you know, which road? And since we're up here, we might as well see. And he goes, oh, see this road here? Yep. Take that down there. You see where Santa is? Yep. Turn left and walk all the way down. And I'm like, alright, cool, thank you very much for that. So we did that in the end, but let me get back to it. So anyway, you all get ushered into a lift, and all the lifts have a glass bottom, and I'm petrified of heights. I hate heights, but I'm willing to give it a go. I just don't like looking down because it just looks freaky. And the girls decided to stand on it and walk and watch it go up, which freaked me out. And I filmed going up the actual Sky Tower, because it has glass lifts and there's like glass panels in between floors and stuff like that. It took around about, it's timed at 41 seconds to get from the bottom right up to the top, to the observation deck. And I filmed it going up and out, and took a virtually 360 video of the Auckland Bay skyline and Auckland skyline, which was amazing. It was beautiful up there. It was nice and sunny, and it was really, just awesome. Really, really, really good. And that was really good, because we could see the ship from up there, we could see all over the place, so you could see the harbour, you could see the different parts of Auckland, and that was really awesome. Beautiful. And the most terrifying bit for me, they have glass panels. What it is, you come out and it's like a concrete bit, and then it goes down, and it steps down to another concrete bit and seating area, and it has these glass panels in between regulatory, so you can look down. No, and no, I didn't want to look down. But I built up the courage and I did look down. People were walking across it and I didn't want to walk across it. Little Brookie and Kerry walked across it and I filmed them doing that. So, anyway, I decided to build up the courage and walk across it. Sorry about that, but seems if you're doing camera and you're talking, people want to come up and ask you what's going on. Can't you see I'm filming? Oh, sorry, just a little interruption there. It's kind of nice, you know. Sky Tower, right? Now in Sky Tower, as I was saying, glass panels. Everyone was walking. Some people just chickened out. You know me, I just chickened out. I just chickened out for most of it. And there was another elevator that took you up to the higher up point. And I said no to that. I just freaked out. I didn't want to go up any higher. It was too high as it was, and I just freaked out. So I said no. Kerry and Brookie went up there and took some video footage of it all, and pictures and stuff like that, which was awesome. And in the meantime, I built up the courage and filmed myself walking across the glass part. It freaked me out. I was holding onto the rail. Yes, it was holding onto the rail, and it freaked me out. So that wasn't nice at all. So after that, we just hung around a little bit while everybody else buggered off. We went to, and there's a downstairs bit that's also like an observation area as well, and that was pretty cool. And that had the cafe, and we sat and had coffee and ice cream. It was awesome, you know, great view. It was a killer view. And while we're there, because Auckland has free, the Sky Tower has free internet, we're able to catch up on a few things, make a couple video calls to people, and just check up on things. You know, check on banking and, you know, emails and stuff like that. Yes, I know I'm on holidays, but also at the same time, there were a couple of emails which needed my attention, unfortunately, because of work. So from that, we decided to head down. Took ourselves all the way down and filmed it. I filmed the glass bottom lift going down, and that wasn't too pleasant, but it was fun to watch Brooklyn go whee. So then we went into the gift shop and bought a few things. You get your photo taken and stuff like that, so we took that. That was I think it was $39 for the book, and even in the aquarium they take a photo of you and put it in like a book frame and all this. You know, it's a background of, in the aquarium was a background of lots of penguins, and a shark coming at you and stuff like that. And that was $30, I think it was, for that book. And both places, which I find really odd, both places said, you know, we went around and shopped a few things. Even in the aquarium, we went to the gift shop and we brought got a few things for, you know, people as souvenirs and stuff like that. And we went up to the counter and give it all, and they're like, oh no, you got to pay for the photo over there. I'm like, totally, why can't we just pay it all in 1 and 2? Oh, we can't do that. We just can't do that. Why not? Oh, we just can't. I said to her, is it a different system? She said, oh no, it's all the same system, but we just don't do it. You got to buy it over there. What? Both places, even Auckland Sky Tower, exactly the same thing. No, you don't buy it here, you buy it over there. Why not? It's easy just to do it in one hit. Oh, that's what we found a bit annoying, you know, in here. it seems to be in Auckland. It seems to, if you want one thing, you pay here in one place, and you want another thing, you got to go to one opposite side of the you know, store to buy it. Really odd. I don't know if that's just an Auckland thing or a New Zealand thing. You know, feel free to comment and leave that below, but we find that really odd in Australia. Like, you can, you know, we've been to places where they take your photo and stuff like that, and it's all at the end in the gift shop, and you just pick it up, buy it, and you get all your gift stuff, and you pay it all at once, no problems. Yeah, it's just really odd. I just find that odd. So yeah, anyway, we did that, and then we decided to walk back to the ship. And on the way, I know there was a duty-free shopping store, department store. I don't know if it was a department store, but a duty-free shopping place. I think it was called Ballerinas or Galleria. That's it, Galleria. I looked it up online, and it was supposed to be the best duty-free shopping place in Auckland. Okay. So, but when we exited Sky Tower, we walked straight into a thunderstorm. My God, it pissed down with rain, thunder and lightning, and we got drenched. It wasn't too pleasant, to say the least. So eventually we made our way down, and what it was if you walk down Queen Street, just before the wharf, you turn left and you walk up the hill a little bit. It used to be the old customs building, customs house building. So we turned around and said see you later to that, and made our way back to the wharf, Queen's Wharf, into the shed, all wet and soggy, and this is, you know, yeah, just wasn't pleasant walk back to say the least, but it was an adventure. It was an adventure, and we really enjoyed that. So went from there, and when we went in there into the Queen's Wharf, on the I think it's the top floor, they had duty free stuff, and they had alcohol there, and they had lots of alcohol. Not much, like, selection wise for myself, like, you know, I'm after the whiskies and stuff like that, but they had two for 59 range, which was included like your Johnny Walkers, your Absolute Vodka, your Jim Beam, your rum, and all of that type of stuff, like Bundaberg and all that type of stuff. And that wasn't too bad. 2 for 59 New Zealand dollars. So in Australia it would be slightly cheaper. And I found a Scotch whiskey, Glenfiddich, for $71, I think it was, or $72. And went to go pay for it. Now, when you're buying alcohol from duty free, this is the way you do it. If you buy it from there, this is my experience from it. So you go up to the counter, you fill out a form which has you know, all the purchasing details, but you put in your name and your cabin number, and they enter it all in for you. And you got an option of paying by card, cash, or MasterCard, Visa, whatever, you know, electronically, or cash. You can pay in New Zealand dollars or in Australian dollars. So if you've got Australian dollars, pay in Australian dollars, because what happens, they give you the difference back to you, not in Australian dollars, in New Zealand dollars. It makes it a bit, it's good and bad, because you got to get rid of that New Zealand dollars. However, it's good to use when you're on shore, if you've started to run out of New Zealand dollars, because some places in New Zealand don't take Australian dollars at all, because they miss out, they lose money by the time they do the conversion. They're pretty much getting the same as if you had New Zealand dollars. So that was awesome. It ended up costing us $135. I paid that in Australian dollars. 135, and they gave me the difference back, which worked out to be another $15, no, $17 in return. So you do the maths there. So 113 Australian dollars. I'm just roughly guessing. Alright, so about 115 Australian dollars for 3 bottles of alcohol, all 1 litres. So that meets our requirement coming back in per person, and you're allowed on your way back in to Australia 2.225 litres per person and 25 cigarettes. They've cut it down from 50 to 25, and I think a cigar no more than 50 grams. So that's that. So anyway, the rest of the process is you fill it out, you pay for it, you get a receipt showing it, and all the details for it, and they pack it for you. Because it was busy and everyone was trying to get on board, you know, by the time we got to there it was just after 3 o'clock, because we aimed to be back on the ship by 4, because they were so busy that I decided to let them deliver it to me rather than waiting for it. Just trying to think what else happened there. Oh yeah, and you have an option of paying electronically, like so MasterCard, Visa card, debit card, whatever you want, or you can pay cash, either in New Zealand dollars or in Australian dollars. So lucky for us, we had lots of Australian dollars for us. So the reason why we had lots of Australian dollars was on the cruise ship we decided not to have gratuities paid. So we decided to tip as we go and who we want, rather than, you know, I know the breakdown is, oh, you know, per day the maitre d' only gets this and rah rah rah. No thank you. You know what, they get paid a good salary, so let them earn that. The poor person has to clean my room, and, you know, who's serving me drinks, or, you know, my waiter, I'd rather give them extra money like we did on the last cruise, on top of him getting his standard gratuities. But, you know, that's what I'd rather do. I'd rather give my money to someone who's treated me quite nice. And like I said, you know, here in Australia we don't believe in tipping, but it's really good to have good service and be thanked for it. And in Australia, if you do something good, you get thanked for it, and that's it. Here in America, they expect you to tip regardless of how shitty their services are. So, no thanks. I'll tip you if you're being good. If you're being pretty crappy, and which some staff members have been, very average. So, no. So anyway, we had extra money from the tipping side of things, and that was able to pay for our duty-free alcohol. And because we pay in Australian dollars, they give you the difference back in New Zealand dollars, which is awesome, because, you know, if you're running out of New Zealand dollars towards the end of the cruise and you can't find another exchange place, here's a perfect, that's one way, you know. So I was given back around about another 17 New Zealand dollars, which worked out to be, I think, in Australian dollars, roughly, it saved, we got, I think all up, those 3 bottles cost us around about 117 Australian dollars, which is good compared to, you know, I probably paid for a whiskey, you know, about 120 for a good whiskey. So that's awesome. So anyway, then we came back, had a shower, got over our socky wet clothes, which was fun. You know, had a shower, warmed up a little bit, relaxed a little bit, and then we had to dinner. And dinner, dinner. I'll tell you what dinner was. I had the chilled strawberry bisque, which was really nice. I've had that before, and it's nice and refreshing. I had the arancini balls, and that was very nice. And the creamy roasted garlic soup, that was my starters. And you say, oh, you had 3 starters. Well, they're quite small. They're not like, you know, the arancini balls, you only got 2. Like, and I mean 2 small ones. So, you know, check my photo out and you'll see it. Alright. If I can get it into editing. I'm just shocking at editing at the moment. I don't know why. Anyway, so mains, I had the filet de mort de male arrosto con savia, which is a pork tenderloin wrapped in prosciutto, which was really nice. I really enjoyed that. Nice and tender. The pork tenderloin was really good and moist. You know, sometimes pork can be a bit dry, not cooked properly. And we decided to share on the table the eggplant parmigiana along with the lasagna. And the lasagna was really not, I shouldn't say that. The eggplant was the best, right? I have to say the eggplant was fantastic, full of flavour, awesome, really nice. The lasagna, it wasn't good and it wasn't bad. It was just okay. Yeah. It was just a try, you know, just a try. So for me to say to you, it's okay, you're right, you better off going with the eggplant. You know. So dessert, I had tiramisu, even though they had a bit of selection, wasn't really too much that really got me to it. I had the tiramisu, it was pretty good, the cream was nice, the sponge coffee was awesome, that was really good, I enjoyed that part of it all. So from there we dropped Brookie off at the kids club, and me and Kerry went and had a couple cocktails, which was really good. Oh no, before we had a couple of cocktails at Schooner Bar, and from Schooner Bar we decided to head to the Royal Theatre and watch Piano Man, and that was pretty good. The first few songs were alright, and then it just got boring with some of the songs, which a couple which I didn't recognise at all. And the singing wasn't the best, really wasn't. There's one particular singer that just really made me go, you know, she just had no oomph to her, and no, like, she was just there to sing, you know, and I didn't enjoy that. And then about 3/4 of the way through we decided to leave, similar to the fact that sometimes I find it easier to leave before the end of the show, because then you get away from people, and especially if you're trying to get to a lift or you want to go somewhere and have a drink. That's one of the biggest gripes a lot of people do have on board a cruise ship, is that there's lots of people everywhere all at once, and they hog up the lifts and do this and that, and you stand around waiting. You know, you stand around waiting on your holiday. Sorry, but you know, one way to avoid that standing around and waiting is leave that little bit earlier, so you can go to wherever you want without interruption. And that's what we've decided to do on this cruise, which worked out better because we were able to go to the champagne bar. Peter, our waiter there, if you're on Rains of the Seas and you see Peter, say hello to him. He's very good. He knows, he gets to know your name, and then he gets to know your portfolio number. So we did that, had a couple of cocktails. From the cocktails, what did we do? Oh yeah, we just had a couple of cocktails. Sat around, watched, talked. It was easy, it was nice, it was fun. And then we picked up Brookie from the kids club, and we went downstairs to the Centrum shops, and they had a couple of sales on. We got perfume, we got 4 bottles of perfume, and we're talking like, you know, Hugo Boss, CK, and a couple other ones. They were $30 each, so we got 4 bottles, so $120 US. And if you did the conversion from her, it would be about another $145. You'd be looking at buying for certain ones, even for just 2, about 100, you know, nearly $200. You know, there's some of them are like $90 a bottle, and that's like small bottles, you know. I know, you know, Isamiyaki, the small Isamiyaki, that's $90, and here they got it for $40 US. And you do the conversion, it's cheaper. Yes, it's duty-free shopping, and so you're not paying all the taxes on that. So from there, we went into the photo area and picked up some photos that we've taken around the place, and some of them were really good, some of them were like, oh my god, like horror, you know, why take that photo? So then we head back to our room and relax. We're getting ready everything for the day, for Bay of Islands tomorrow, which I'm filming today. Don't mind if we can get everything a bit earlier than normal, and which didn't turn out the case. And that's what we've been finding on this cruise. Non-port days, like on the sea days, the service is really quick. Everything comes out, you know. As soon as you finish one meal, you finish your starter, the next starter's there. But on port days, they seem to be really, really slow. And in particular today, we noticed that the it took a long time to get stuff. So you know, dinner for us, you know, we 5:45, and normally we leave just after 7, and we didn't get to leave until after 7:30, nearly 8 o'clock. It was nearly 8 o'clock. I took Bookie up to just after 7 to the kids club, and came back down and finished off the rest of dinner. But it did take a long time. But we were talking to our head waiter, Dominic, and he's a fantastic bloke as well, and he's very, you know, he's very personable, and he likes asking a lot of questions, and, you know, just wants to get feedback. And I said to him, he goes, you know, how's the food? And, you know, I said, yeah, look, it's been not too bad. And he goes, you know, how you compare it to Voyager and other cruise ships that you've been on? And I said, look, the menu's the same as Voyager. Some of them, there's variations in the theme, but, you know, it's very much the same. I think that's across the board with Royal Caribbean. But I said to him, the food needs seasoning. I said, like a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, just something to bring out the flavours a little bit more, you know. And then he turns around and says to me that the reason why it's a little bit bland is because on this cruise there's so many dietary requirements that it's forcing the chefs to cut back on flavours in order to meet those dietary requirements. So that brings down the whole meal experience. And he was going to say, for example, there was over 70 gluten-free people on board tonight, he said, and over 150 people requested no salt in their food. Wow. No wonder that everything was just like so bland. It's been so bland, because that explains a lot why the food has been a little bit hit and miss, is because they haven't been able to put in that extra flavouring which they normally would do because of dietary requirements. So that was a bit of a bummer. So now we know that now, if I should have said something a little bit earlier and said, look, it's been a bit bland, and maybe give me a bit of explanation beforehand. So did that, and like I said, we went and had cocktails afterwards. And when we were talking to Peter, we noticed a few officers and stuff like that, and we asked, you know, who are they? And he said it was, the hotel director and the security director and stuff like that. And I was like, we were just talking about, and I said, you know, I haven't seen too much of the cruise director around. I've seen the activities manager around, but I haven't seen the cruise director nor the captain as much. I only seen the captain on the formal night, and that's it. I remember on Voyager, the captain, every day you saw him walking around the place, and which was really good. This one, the captain doesn't seem to be as much involved. The cruise director, I find out from Peter that it's a new cruise director, so this is his first voyage. And then I turned to Kieran and go, that's why the cruise has been a little bit lackluster, because he's still finding his feet. He doesn't know what to put on and what not to put on, you know. So he's just going for stock standard things which everyone likes, which is typical of Royal Caribbean, like the Love and Marriage show, the Game Quest, the Adult Game Quest, the quizzes, you know, line dancing and all that type of stuff. So he's gone for the stock standard stuff. He hasn't done anything different. which explains a lot, which explains why the cruise has been a bit of a hit and miss, or as we like to say, the cruise hasn't been outstanding and it hasn't been disappointing. There's been, so the best way to describe it is, for every positive there's a negative, and at the moment the positives are just slightly in front of the negatives. So once we get back home, I'll give like a review of the whole cruise and take it from there. So that's me for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and once again, these are my opinions. These are my opinions based on my experience. If you don't like it, I'm sorry, but that's my experience and my opinions. Please like and comment. I'll try to get back to them as best as possible, and take it from there. So today we're in Bay of Islands, and it's our last port before we cruise back to Sydney. And today I think we're just going to be taking it easy, catch a tender over there, poke around Paley, I think it is, and then either catch the ferry or I don't know if they offer a shuttle service. If they do, I'll let you guys know, to Russell, and take a look at Russell and then come back. That'll be it, just to say that we've been there. Alright, and it's a goodbye from me.